Hello, and welcome to our RSO Update for Spring 2022. My name is Stephanie Linnett, and I'm the Director of Student Activities. Typically, we have two student organization leaders from each organization attend our RSO Update in both the fall and spring semesters. If you are an RSO officer who is brand new this semester, I would recommend that you go back and watch our fall version of the RSO Update before proceeding with this one, as a lot of it is reminders. You can find that on Numalink. If you scroll down to the bottom under campus links in the RSO video resource library. So kind of a quick update on what we're going to be doing today. So first of all, welcome back to the spring semester. I want to go over a few different things. We're going to hit on a few different reminders from our fall training that we did this last fall, just some things that I've noticed over the semester that maybe we're not understanding completely, or that maybe we've forgotten, how to do certain things. So I'm going to kind of hit on a few of those things. Talk a little bit about some deadlines that are coming up this spring, just some things to go over with you as an RSO. Talk to you a little bit about our new travel procedure, as well as a new service platform that we have, and then give you an update on our Star of Excellence. As a reminder, once you complete this training, 2 of your officers must have completed it and then go take the RSO update quiz for the spring semester, which you can find on Numalink under forms. All right, so let's start with reminders from this fall. First, do I have to register every event? Yes, you do have to register every event on Numalink. Remember that you can register events that are happening with the same name on different dates at the same time. So if you have something that occurs weekly or monthly, then it's okay to just fill out one form and then put your date and time and location on it. And then right below that, there's a little blue button that says add another date. And if you click that, you can add multiple dates. I'm just noticed that a lot of folks are turning in maybe 20 forms at the same time with the same exact title, but it's different dates and different locations. So just know that you don't have to do that over and over again. We want to make that as easy on you as possible. And so you can enter in multiple dates on the same exact form. Also, please remember that you have to turn in your events 2 weeks out. So that is something that I've been very lenient on in the fall semester. We've been getting event submissions sometimes an hour before an event, the day before and so forth. It's important that you get that in 2 weeks in advance. If you think that if you come, we realize things pop up. And so if you see an issue, you're welcome to contact me and say, hey, this popped up. Is there any way we can still make this happen? And we're going to try to help you as much as we can. But just know that we do need to have that event submission in so that we have adequate time to approve it. Your advisor has to approve it first, and then our office. So keep that in mind. You are not required to register meetings. However, a meeting is like a general meeting. If your meeting includes a program, a guest speaker, trivia competition, whatever, a social, whatever that may be, that's more of an event. So you do need to register those. Most groups do go ahead and register their meetings just so that they're on their calendar and Numalink for everyone for tracking purposes, but you are not required to register those. Okay, what is an EMS number? EMS stands for Event Management System. So EMS number is that confirmation or reservation number that you're going to get from EMS when you make your space reservation with Ashley Goodson, our scheduling office. When you get that confirmation back from her, it's usually from an email that's titled from UAFS EMS. The EMS reservation number is in your subject as well as the body of that email. It should be like a 5-digit number. And so we do currently require that just to verify that you have made your reservation if you're booking something on campus. If it's something that's off campus or not a reservable space for some reason, like for example, if you're doing like the Campus Center breezeway, that's a different process. So you could just put like NA there and we'll just double check and make sure it matches. But be sure that you're making sure that you put the EMS number in there. So an EMS number is not your phone number. It is not a random number that you make up. It is not the name of the room. It is actually the confirmation number that you have reserved the space. Can we have a movie night? Yes and no. So you can't have a movie without a license to show that movie. We are a public campus and a public space. Therefore, if we show a movie on campus, we do have to have a license to show that, because it would be a violation of copyright law if we did not have that license to show that film. Even if you own it, even if you've rented it, you still have to have a license to show it. So keep that in mind. If you have questions about this, please feel free to contact our office. We're happy to work with you on getting pricing for those licenses or talk through different options. But you really do have to have that license to show a movie on campus. Are budgets up to date in NewLink? No, unfortunately. I honestly, I'm just as frustrated about this as you probably are if you looked at your budgets. I'm not sure if you remember my emails back and forth or not, but we did switch this summer from a platform on campus from Banner to Workday, and that houses our budgets, like the finance portion of everything from the university. The student organization portion of that is not up to date currently in Workday, and that's how we pull our data to put it into NewLink. Therefore, NewLink is not up to date. We are working to try to get it fixed. We have been working for a while with that. And I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to get that fixed very, very soon. Now that there's some new staffing in that area, but no, they are not currently up to date. Your SGA allocated money should be up to date. And if you, we should be updating your fundraiser revenue accounts, but I know that they're not all currently up to date right now. And then the rollover accounts are what we're really working with, trying to get that. So the money you had from last year that rolled over, that is for sure not up to date. We can, if you reach out to myself or Kari in our office, then we can get you an up-to-date record of your budget if you need that. How do I deposit money into my account? So remember, you cannot have a bank account. The only organizations currently that are allowed to have bank accounts are Greek organizations that fall into our Greek life category, and that's for several different reasons. And so unless you fall into that category, you cannot have a separate bank account. You can only have your on-campus account. So that means if you have any money from cash or checks, then you do have to deposit those at the cashier's office. The cashier's office is on the second floor of the campus center. They have limited their hours some, so just be sure that you make sure that they're open before you go over. Just, I don't want you to waste a trip. You can find a deposit form for that on NewLink on the SAO page under documents. So you can print that or come to our office. We're happy to print one for you. But you'll take that form with any cashier checks up to the cashier's office to deposit them into your account. Right now, we don't have a way to take credit cards or debit cards. I do apologize. It's something that we're working on, trying to figure that out as well. Right now, one step at a time, so we're trying to get all that money fixed in NewLink to make sure that you have all that done. But that is definitely something that we're trying to work through as well. How do I request more money? So a lot of groups have kind of asked about different money, that kind of sort of thing. You do have the option to ask for additional funds from SGA once per semester through a reserve fund request. New organizations that are under a year old may ask for up to $1,000 each semester for one successful request. And organizations that are more than a year old can ask for up to $2,000 per semester with one successful request. So you will go to your page on NewLink. So if you're the chocolate club, you're going to go to the chocolate club page on NewLink, and you're going to go and click on that menu in the upper left-hand corner and then click finance. And then there's a blue button that will pop up that says create request, and you're going to click create budget request. And that is going to take you to the reserve fund request form, which is going to ask you for some more details about why you need money, what is it going to be used for, and so forth. Once submitted, that will go to the SGA. It will probably take them about a week to review it. And then you should receive communication from them once it's been reviewed, if it's been approved, denied, if it's been approved for how much, if it's been denied, why, that way you can resubmit, that kind of thing. But you do have the option to ask for funds that way. So just be aware that that does exist. Before, I know some people have been like trying to raise a ton of money, to maybe go on a certain trip or to host a program. Just be aware that this is an option for you as well to maybe help supplement some of that. All right, so those are a few different things that, again, we noticed over the fall semester that we had questions about, that kind of stuff. If you have additional questions, please let us know. We're happy to answer those that will be to the best of our ability. I want to now touch a little bit on some deadlines for this spring. So this coming Monday, a week from today, is the deadline for our homecoming competition registrations in the King and Queen competition. So homecoming is in February, but there are a lot of different opportunities for competitions, for student organizations, where you can win trophies and money. And we are working through all of that fun stuff. But the deadline for registering for any of that is this January 31st, so next week on Monday. Also, that day is when our RSO update quizzes for the spring are due. So keep that in mind. So that's by the time it needs to be done. February 21st. So right after homecoming, we are going to have a deadline for our NUMAS planning committee. If you're not familiar, NUMAS is our end of the year award ceremony where we celebrate different student organizations with different awards. And a lot of it, it's kind of fun to plan. You get to kind of pick a theme, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested at all in helping plan that award ceremony and coming up with a theme, coming up with like the food that we're going to have, decorations, that kind of stuff, we are going to have a planning committee that's for students. And so you can apply for that. The application is live on NewLink under forms. April 1st is the deadline for budget proposals for next year for your student organization. So keep that in mind. It's always the first Friday in April. We'll host some training in February, and that will be hosted by SGA and myself. And we'll kind of go over through how all that works. It's a pretty easy process, but you'll have until April 1st to get that turned in. We always want to make sure you have a couple months to work through it with your student organization and ask questions as things come up. And then on April 3rd, which is a Sunday, just so we can give you the weekend, and you didn't have tons of deadlines on the same day, that'll be when our NUMAS award applications are due. So like I mentioned before, that's our end of the year award ceremony. We'll have multiple awards that your organization can nominate themselves for. And so this is the deadline to get those nominations turned in. All right, so homecoming information sessions. We are hosting 2 homecoming information sessions. One was this past Friday, January 21st, 2 to 3 via Zoom. If you're listening to this, then it's a re-recording, and my original was before this, but we did have to re-record just because we had an issue with the image. We are also hosting a homecoming information session this Monday, January 24th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. That will be in the Kim Center room 129 and via Zoom. We'll record that one and send it out, and that way everyone has an option to be able to view that if you have questions. All right, so new procedures. Okay, so we have some new procedures when it comes to travel and services. Let me just kind of switch over real quick to NumaLink. All right, so in the past, whenever you all were planning to travel, you had to go to your student organization page and register the event, register an event as a travel event. That switched a little bit because of that whole switch to Workday that I mentioned before with budgets. So now all you need to do if you're going to travel is go to forms, and then you can just probably type in the word travel, and it will pop up the RSO travel form. So you're going to go in and you're going to fill this form out just to give us more information about your trip. Once it comes to me, I'll approve it, and it will go to Kari, and Kari will contact you, whoever the submitter or the main contact is, in order to get more information and make sure that we have everything ready for your trip. This, again, needs to be done a minimum of 2 weeks in advance, preferably much sooner if possible. We'll do whatever we can to pay for things up front. That way you're not having to pay for everything out of pocket. There are some things that we can't do up front, but we'll do whatever we can to help you along the way. Once we have this form completed, we'll have to enter everything into Workday, and it will go back through an approval process that way. Now, that said, this form is really for us to kind of do a pre-approval and for us to get all the information that we need to enter everything into Workday. If you as a student, if your advisor already has everything and feels confident to be able to enter everything into Workday, then they can just do that without filling this form out because it will go through our same approval process. But if you ever need a place, just remember, like, this is the place to get started if you have questions. Feel free to reach out, because travel is one of those things that it's completely different for every single student organization. Every trip looks a lot different. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to walk you through the process to kind of help you along that path. The second thing I want to mention while we're on NewLink is service. So you'll notice that we have all these different tabs across the top. We have a new tab called service that just came about this December. So if you would have looked at this the first week of January, or first week of classes, you would have seen a few more different opportunities here. You'll notice that it says powered by GivePulse. So we have partnered with a platform called GivePulse to provide you with opportunities to give back to the local community. So what this is different community organizations are able to submit opportunities for students to volunteer, students, faculty, or staff, honestly, or community members to volunteer here through NumaLink. If you are to click on one of these opportunities, it will take you to the Give Pulse platform. If you haven't logged in before, it may ask you to log in for the first time. And if so, there is going to be like a little box that you can check that says you're logging in with your UAFS username and password. And that gives you that single sign on so that you don't have to worry about logging in again for the future. So just know that that may be the case the first time that you click on that. This is going to be the best way for you to go in and kind of learn about these different volunteer opportunities. When you're back here, just note that down here it says add impact service hours. This is the new way for you to track service hours for your different organizations and so forth. We are still learning all the ins and outs of this new platform, to be completely honest. And so this is the very basics of it. We will be offering another training for this platform more specifically in how to complete more service hours and so forth, just a little bit later in the semester. All right, let's talk about Star of Excellence. So for Star of Excellence, first of all, congratulations to those organizations who achieved the Fall Star of Excellence. Those organizations were emailed back in December. If you did not receive that email, but you think that you did achieve Star of Excellence, please feel free to contact me and we'll double check that for you. For the spring semester, we do have several different options for you to attend different trainings and so forth. As a reminder, you have to do 70%, which in this case is going to be 5. So if you do 5 of these this semester, then your organization would receive a Star of Excellence award this semester. If it says LA next to it, it stands for Leadership Academy. And Leadership Academy is our year-long training for student leaders. If you attend 7 of the 10 total for the whole year, then you would receive that leadership award at the end of the year. So our different sessions this semester are going to be building a budget. That's led by Austin Miller, our SGA treasurer, and that's going to be the training for learning how to build your budget for next semester and completing that process by April 1st. We also have one on visionary leadership led by Dylan Newell, one about making the most of your socials, talking more about social media, led by Jonathan Schaefer, learning to serve by Enlisted Burns, and that's going to be more details on our Lionheart program, as well as that Give Pulse community platform I just mentioned. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, led by Dylan again, and then Optimal Officer Transitions, led by Chloe. And so the transitions are really great to make sure you work through at a good point in the year so that you're transitioning your officers, or you're preparing to transition your officers as they take leadership of the organization moving forward into next fall. You'll also get a point if your organization competes in at least one competition for homecoming, and then at least 1 point if you turn in a nomination for the NUMA Awards. Just a quick save the date. Our NUMA Awards ceremony is going to be Friday, April 29th at 7 p.m. in the Kim Center Reynolds Room. And more information will be coming out about how to RSVP for that later in the month. A few resources in case you need them. You can always look back at the RSO handbook, which you can find on the SAO page on NumaLink. There's a hyperlink in the About section that you can easily reach out to. These other links you can find on NumaLink under Canvas links on the first page in the bottom right-hand corner. That's going to be the RSO Hub, the NumaLink Guidebook, and the RSO Video Library. All right, so it is quiz time. Be sure that you go to NumaLink and search for RSO Update for the spring in NumaLink under Forums. 2 officers must take the test, the quiz, and receive at least an 80%. There may be some questions that are from a previous update, so be sure that you have looked at that if you have not already watched that one. All right, if you have questions, please feel free to contact us. Again, my name is Stephanie Linden. I'm the Director of Student Activities. We also have Kari Carbajal, our Student Life Office Manager. Kari is really great in knowing all the ins and outs of student organization stuff and handles a lot of our finances. We also have new to our team, Monica Cortez. She's our new Student and Family Programs Coordinator. And as the semester goes along, you'll probably be seeing her name more as she'll be helping me with student organizations. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.